Good afternoon, guys. I come in here to do another short video just on some of my safety gear and camping gear that I use and fishing gear that I use to go to Yalata. Just a short video with my UHF radios and sat phones, just various bits and pieces, so hope you enjoy. Yeah, guys, just run you through some of the fishing reels that I use for Yalata and surf fishing down the Coorong and yeah, it's any sort of surf fishing. One I use on my old 8144, which is an old Butterworth rod I got. I got my old Shimano funness. I show my Shimano Bait Runner 12,000D. Quite a good reel. That's loaded with a 30-pound braid. Next one I got is my Shimano funness C14 12,000. That's running a 30-pound braid as well, which I use on my Daiwa Sensor Surf, which is a great surf rod. I'll show you that in a minute. And I do have a backup reel as well, which is a yeah, it's a 950 SS pen, which I've got put away. And for the smaller stuff and for salmon and that, I've got an 8000D, which I use on my old mag brim that I built up many years ago. Okay, I'll run you through the fishing rods. Welcome back. Yeah, just as you know, that was just a quick run around through some of my fishing reels. Now I'll run you through my fishing rods. Alright guys, the first rod I'll run you through is my Samaki Zing Surf. Yep, that's the one there. I use it as a 13-foot graphite rod. Works really well. Haven't caught any big mulloway yet, just a few sharks and rays and stuff. And next rod's my Old Faithful, the old Fish Striker MT 8144 8 wrap. It's an old Australian built rod, which I've had for probably 15 years. And the latest rod I got, roughly, was a Daiwa Sensor Surf. That's a beautiful light rod, very much like the Samaki surf thing. Just works really well. Yeah, and one of my first fishing rods that I ever built, which I used to use for my club fishing, for catching carp mainly, was the old mag brim. It was one of the first rods I built up in the late 80s. See the guide to seeing better days, but she still works really well. Yeah, it's just great for small salmon up to a couple of kilos and flathead and whiting. It's quite long, but it has a very light tip, and it's just beautiful to use. I've had it for such a long time. Now onto some of the rod holders. These are some rod holders I saw a guy use once and decided to make them myself, just out of PVC pipe, stainless steel bolts, and just star droppers which have been galvanised so they don't rust. Just little cutouts there so you can fit your rods in so they don't damage your reels. One of the ideas I picked up from my mate Chris. These little carabiner clips on there, which I use just to put a rag, which is always good when you, after you've baited up and your hands are all slimy, just give them a quick wipe and away you go. And that's it. And over to here, this is the bag that I actually take most of my Yalata gear in. It's just all hooks, rigs, sinkers, all your hooks all labelled and everything else. So, and all my edge, all my line, and yeah, just all my Yalata bits. So yeah, it's not only a quick rundown how it goes, but it's some of the reel and gear that I use. Cheers. Now guys, I'll give you a bit of a rundown on some of the safety gears and communication equipment that I use when I'm Yalata, because the fishing over is very remote. There's no cell phone service. So just for safety, and it only cost me $15 a month, so it's got myself a little Faraya sat phone. You can see it in the light, that's the one there. And I'll take that with me on my quad bike when I'm cruising around as well, and got a little case and that for it, so keeps it all nice and safe, because I've already damaged one phone, dropped it in the car and broke it. Yeah, so it's a very expensive mistake, but I got that one reasonably cheap, so yeah, it's $15 a month, and just for the communication and just for the peace of mind and safety, it's worth it. Yeah, and some of the other stuff I carry on my quad bike. This is the box that I use. Got a full safety first aid gear in my car, but I always keep the small first aid kit just on my quad bike when I'm out cruising. You never know when you may need it. And the other recovery gear and stuff I use in there was got my old winch rope off my camper trail, which I don't use. So I just use that as a potential tow rope if I need to, which I've already used once for my other quad bike, which broke down at Yalata the other year. Yeah, I'm just mozzie nets and just keep a little shovel because you never know when you need it. So not much more then. I'll run you through some of the gear that's in my car for remote camping as well. Cheers. Yep, I'll go through some of the safety gear and bits that I take when I go remote camping and fishing. I'll show you my GU. That's it there. She's pretty well equipped. If you want to check out what the car's like, I did do a rig rundown a little while ago, so you're welcome to check out my channel if you want to have a look. Okay. Very much happened as far as communications and remote safety and all that goes. Well, so we've done a quick rundown on it already, but I'll show you. Right there is my HF radio, which has got a 3000 plus K range, so that's great for, that's what I had before I had the sat phone. So it connects you straight to the VKS 737 network, which is can connect you straight to the flying doctors, so if you're remote, it's a great safety feature. And I'm running a 2 UHF, so running a XRS 330C unit. Great for car to car, and on there got an ICOM 480C, which basically just use it for the truckie channels. So yeah, communications wise, I'm pretty well set. And as far as my safety equipment goes, I've always carry a fire extinguisher there, which is always in the back of the car. That's always handy. And also carry a first aid kit, which I'll show you in a sec. Got a snake bite kit and also a survival trauma first aid kit, which is not bad. I've had that one for quite a while, so yeah, haven't really had to use it yet, thank God. But over on the west coast and also some of the areas like Burra and that, when I've been up to, you get a lot of snakes. So yeah, still got to get around. Hopefully in a month or two, I'll go do a full outback safety first aid course, so I get to know how to use them properly. Yeah, I got a fire blanket up there and a few other bits and pieces that I use it, and there's the inverter and all that I use. And around the corner here is the radio. That's the antenna for the HF radio. When it's sitting around town, I don't bother putting the top part of the antenna on it. It doesn't really need it, so I'll just use that when I go away. That's it, guys. Only a fairly short video today. It was just a quick rundown of some of my bits and pieces of gear. Later on I'll be doing a rundown on my boat and all the fishing gear and that I use, and safety equipment and everything I got on the boat, and sounder. Stuff that I use to go fishing and hopefully go chase some kingies in about a month or so. Heading away with my lad Jared, so I should take the boat out in the drone and should get some epic footage and hopefully finally catch a big kingfish. Right, thanks guys, sign off.